May 20th, 2024, please stand and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And the roll.
Sullivan,
Present.
Stompanato, Shower, Legansky, Kenny,
Here.
Gustafson, Belzak.
Here.
5 present and 2 absent.
We have a quorum. Brings us to questions and comments of announcements of a general nature. It's an opportunity for public to make comments or ask questions on any issue. Mr. Gilson, can I ask you a favor? We have people that we want to recognize tonight, and we don't want them to be able to leave. So could you do that under number 14? Your talk under number 14 on the agenda.
There's a public
No, I was
comment.
going to give a general comment if I may.
It's under public comment.
There's a second public comment towards the end.
I would like
and
to speak for the first public comment.
It's 3 minutes.
The second
Got it.
public comment is meant for agenda items.
Yes.
And the third is for general
I'd like to speak on a
items.
non-agenda item.
You have 3 minutes then, sir.
Thank you. So I'm pleased to be here, exercise my freedom of speech, and freedom is not free. There's a cost that comes with that, and my family has paid that cost in blood. My great uncle was shot through the head fighting in World War II. My grandfather was wounded 3 times, so I understand freedom of speech and the price of that freedom. I think it's interesting that as a resident of Darien, I exercise that freedom of speech before this body. And I would encourage this body to adopt a policy concerning that freedom of speech for the residents. Frankly, I think it's pretty arrogant that residents from other areas, and I did read Mayor Joe's insightful thoughts on tolerance, and I do have tolerance, but I think that those residents from other areas are not well served coming to the residents of Darien and telling us how to run our community and that we're unable or incapable of self-governance. I think that shows not only a lot of, how should I say, arrogance. I think it's petty, it's meddling, and it's consistent with the term interloper. And while we don't get it right all the time, for the most part, this body does get it right, and this body is capable of making their own decisions, creating policy without what, in my opinion, is the unwelcome interjection of people that do not reside in this community. So in the future, I would ask this body to consider whether residents should be allowed to speak or others, paid activists, or others from other areas should be allowed. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gilson. Anyone else?
I just want to extend a quick thank you to the city of Darien for the Darien Dash. It was the first time I participated in about 14 years, and I had a wonderful time on Saturday, or on Sunday rather. A little out of shape, but or I should say a little out of shape, I'm a little sore. But I thought it was a really well-organized event, and I thought it was a tremendous community turnout. I mean, if I had to criticize anything, the only thing I would probably do different is I don't think I would have High Haven as a sponsor. It was a family event. A lot of children were there. In fact, the children were racing in front of their tent. And I thought that a company that wants to, exploit the problems of people addiction or problems of addiction with people should not really be there. So, as far as I'm concerned, next year maybe something like that could be thought about. But overall, I thought the event was wonderful and I had a great time, and thank you.
Excuse me, may I ask your name, please?
Noel, Noel. Last name is Manley, Manley.
Thank you.
Okay. We'll move on to the approval of the minutes. I'm looking for a motion to approve the April 15, 2024 minutes. Alderman Kenny, second by Alderman Belzak. Any questions or comments? If none, the roll.
Kenny?
Aye.
Belzak?
Aye.
Legansky?
Aye.
Shower?
Aye.
Sullivan?
Aye.
5 ayes and 2 absent.
The minutes have been approved. Now I'm looking for a motion to approve the May 6, 2024 City Council minutes. Alderwoman Sullivan, second by Alderman Legansky. Any questions or comments regarding those minutes? If none, the roll.
Sullivan?
Aye.
Legansky?
Aye.
Kenny?
Aye.
Belzak?
Aye.
Shower?
Aye.
5 ayes and 2 absent.
The minutes have been approved. Takes us to receiving of communications. Any of the aldermen have communications they'd like to share? Okay. Move on to the mayor's report. Tonight, under the mayor's report, we have 2 items where we get to recognize individuals who've done outstanding things within our community. The first thing is a recognition of the Downers Grove South Wind Ensemble. Tonight, we have with us 2 directors. Is Aaron Kennedy and Jerry Lowry both here? Okay.
Aaron Kennedy.
And do we have Gavin Schnall and Becca? Okay, do we have other students as well?
Yeah, we have some other students as well. We have Becca Schnapper, Talking Yamazaki, Anthony Lopez, Alzorb, and Diana Nava.
After I read this, I'll ask you to introduce all of them. All right, the DGS Wind Ensemble was selected to perform at the 50th Annual University of Illinois Superstate Concert Band Festival. Each year, school bands from across the state apply to perform at this prestigious event, and only a few are selected every year. The application involved an audition based on recordings of the band that were submitted to a review panel of collegiate band directors. Based on this audition recording, the GGS Wind Ensemble was selected among 7 other high schools to perform at the Crane Arts Center for the Performing Arts at the University of Illinois. Being selected to perform at this event demonstrates the high musical excellence of the group. On behalf of the Darien City Council, I'd like to congratulate Jerry Lowry and Aaron Kennedy for their work as directors, and a special congratulations to all of you who are part of the Wind Ensemble. From what I understand, there's 50 that are in the Wind Ensemble. So now at this point, is it Aaron?
Yes.
Aaron, could you come forward and introduce the students to us and have them come forward?
Yeah, if you guys want over here. Around here.
Yeah, you can go to the microphone over here
Oh, sorry, right here.
and have them come up front.
Alright, so you guys can, yeah, if you they wanna come over here.
So the cameras get you.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see it, okay. So we have Gavin, Anthony, Al, Diana, Becca, and Tuaco. These are just a couple members of the total of 50 that are part of the DGS Wind Ensemble. This is the highest performing ensemble on campus at DGS, and as the mayor said earlier, we were selected to perform at the 50th Annual University of Illinois Superstate. So it took a lot of hard work and dedication from our students here, so we are very happy and thank you for the recognition.
Great. Can I get a picture?
I want one.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, all of you. Thank you. What instruments you guys? What? Clarinet? Trombone?
It's a percussion.
Pardon me?
Percussion.
Percussion?
Percussion.
Just percussion. Trumpet? When you say percussion?
So it's like drums and like xylophone and things like that.
Okay. Well, congratulations. Thank
Thank
you
you
for
so
bringing the
much.
group in tonight. And I hope you win it again next year. Thank you. Darien Lions Club established an award 12 years ago that acknowledges the humanitarian focus that the club has developed over the past 20 years. The club chose to select an individual whose efforts have touched the lives of others regardless of their geographic locale. In establishing this humanitarian award, the club hoped to bring attention to their efforts while also highlighting and reinforcing their mission. The definition of humanitarian is someone concerned with the interest and welfare of humans, helping to improve their lives and reduce their suffering. It is an ethic of kindness, benevolence, and sympathy for others. The award is presented to a resident in this area served by the Darien Lions Club. This could include Darien, Woodridge, Westmont, Downers Grove, Burr Ridge, Clarendon Hills, or Willowbrook. Nominations are submitted by local service, civic, religious, and educational, as well as other community groups. The nominees for this award are reviewed by members of the Darien Lions Club, who have all been noted for their humanitarian work as recipients of the George Lazansky Award. The recipient of the award will have a $250 donation made in his or her name to the Darien Lions Club Foundation Fellowship Program, along with a commemorative brick placed in the brick patio at the Darien Community Park with a matching brick for themselves. And they will also have an opportunity to ride in the Darien Lions July 4th parade. This year's recipient of the Darien Lions Humanitarian of the Year Award is presented to Mr. Paul Ganji. Paul has been a resident of Darien for the past 35 years. Paul and his wife Linda have raised 3 children, Laura, Paul, and Joe, and are now grandparents to 3 little ones, Madden, Josephine, and Paul IV. Paul has always been active in the community beyond his leadership with the OLMC community. Most notably, Paul was an active leader on the Darien Youth Club, first as coach, then director, and ultimately commissioner for several years while his children were growing up. As noted by Father Jeff, pastor of Our Lady of Mount Carmel, Paul is deserving of this award for many reasons. The greatest of all has been his leadership and the dedication he has shown during the holiday food drives at Our Lady of Mount Carmel for the past 25 years. His thoughtfulness, time, and commitment to the community have led to many years of incredibly successful and much appreciative food drives during the Thanksgiving, Christmas, and Easter holidays. As a result of Paul's dedication to Our Lady of Mount Carmel's triannual food drives, there have been a great number of Our Lady of Mount Carmel parishioners and families in need, as well as other local community members who were positively impacted. Paul has always ensured that recipients of meals were treated with respect and humility, never imposing judgment on anyone asking for help. Paul is a true servant to our Darien community, showing love and kindness to those who need it the most. Paul's selfless dedication, unwavering faith has continually inspired our community overall to open their hearts to show compassion and love to those in need. Paul Ganji is truly deserving of the designation Humanitarian of the Year, and the Darien Lions Club, the parishioners of Our Lady of Mount Carmel, and the city of Darien thank him for his dedication to assisting his fellow men in the making of Darien as a nice place to live. Mr. Ganji, are you with us here? I have to say that when I called him and told him he won this honor, he was like, I don't deserve this. Couldn't think of anybody who deserves it more than you, Paul.
Thank you, Mayor. I'll make this quick before somebody really realizes that they got the wrong guy. I don't know, okay. In my life, I don't do things for thank yous or pat on the backs or accolades or anything like that. But when someone sees something that I do and they appreciate it and they go as far as nominating me, I have to take a step back and thank them. And that's Father Jeff. We're very, very fortunate to have Father be our pastor and lead us at Our Lady of Mount Carmel. He brings, passion and thoughtfulness and humor and everything else. And I will say that if anybody from the parish maybe might not have been back since COVID, or maybe somebody from another parish might not be happy, I would highly recommend you come and give us a try. It's not gonna be for everybody, but I'm sure a lot of you are gonna walk away pleasantly surprised.
4:30 Mass on Saturday.
There you go. So, Father Jeff, wherever you are, thank you. Next, I want to thank the Lions Club. Okay, you guys do a great job. You, sweetheart. That was nice. Come on, okay.
Paul, can we have your family come forward and get a picture with you and your
Oh,
family?
sure. So you guys, do a great job, always helping people out all year long, and I want to thank you for your volunteering and your thoughtfulness and stuff to help people. And again, if anybody's watching or listening, if you're looking to get involved, it's a great organization. Even if you want to just donate, again, it's a good organization. So thank you. Family and friends, thank you for being here. I guess the question is, why? You gotta have better things to do than that. Thank you, I appreciate you being here. I tend to volunteer more than I really should. And it helps people out, and it's great. But unfortunately, the downside to that is sometimes my family takes a back seat while I'm doing things. So to my kids, Laura, Polly, and Joey, thank you for always being there, understanding, sometimes helping out, and not disowning your father, okay? So I appreciate that. Last but not least is my phenomenal wife, okay? She's the one that really takes all of the grunt of me doing all of this stuff. A lot of times she'll volunteer and help out. Sometimes she's rather quiet, okay? She's meditating, okay? But she's been there, and to be honest with you, I don't know why she hasn't divorced me. Hell, I don't know why she hasn't killed me. Okay? But I love you, sweetheart. I always have, I always will, okay? So I'm done. I want to get this over with before somebody realizes, yep, we really did get the wrong guy. So, and you can have the title back, but I really want to hang on to the brick, okay? So thank you all. Thank you.
The family in the front? Anyone else? Okay? Yeah, you guys, all the friends and family. We'll get the family in the front and we'll get the Lions Club.
Okay. Hey, you're in the middle.
Come on, Mom. You get in there too.
Unbelievable,
Come on, you guys. Penny, Dan, come on. Joe, come on. Jumping, come on.
No, I want the family.
I'll share the picture, so.
Come on, Joe.
One more.
Hurry up. Come on, Uncle Joe.
What a crowd, huh?
Look at this group tonight. No wonder you do.
The most humble man in Our Lady of Mount Carmel. Okay,
Sure
here we
is.
go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Great.
Good, thank you.
Congratulations, Mom.
Work something out.
This almost stole the show. Oh my gosh, she's so, congratulations. Liz told me to say congrats to you.
It's about the size.
She's beautiful. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I clean up.
She's so cute.
Congratulations. Great family. Patio. I can't walk. We'll see you. Very deserving. Thank you, guys.
We gotta load out. I'll see you Sunday.
All right.
You're on a good meeting.
So far.
Excellent. Thank you.
By the way, Paul, Father Jeff.
I know. Two special guys, or at least one guy.
Take care, Joe.
Take care of yourself, okay?
Oh, he's unbelievable.
I've got a couple other things under the mayor's report. Congratulations to April Padalecki and the Darien Chamber of Commerce for the running of another successful Darien Dash. Congratulations to all the participants and to the Darien Lions Club and all the vendors and sponsors who gave up their time and money to make the event a success. I also want to note that this coming Monday is Memorial Day, and we celebrate that in Darien, or we recognize that day in Darien by a service that we hold at the War Memorial at the community park. The ceremony starts at 11 o'clock, and I think it's a nice way to acknowledge the fact that our freedoms are not just given to us, our freedoms were earned by the sacrifice of a lot of men and women. In addition to that, I want to note that this is Public Works Week. So if you have a chance, thank the men and women of the Public Works Department. They keep your streets clean in the wintertime, and they keep your streets looking good in the summertime, among other things. You know, lastly, I want to mention that last week I had an opportunity to entertain 10 fifth graders from Kingswood Academy who came over, and I thought I was going to give them a nice lecture on what local government was all about, but they were more interested in the police department, and they were more interested in the cells and going into the jail. And they also liked the Vector truck. John Carr brought the Vector truck out, and I asked them to guess how much they thought it was, how much it cost. And I had one young man go, $60 million? And I said, no, a lot cheaper than that. And they finally got the price right, but they enjoyed that, and they had a good time. So we love to have an opportunity to have children come in and learn what local government is all about. And these guys were real attentive. They really loved their time here. So I want to thank the staff over there for bringing over a group of 10. And that concludes my mayor's report. That takes us to the city's clerk's report. Joanne?
One item, city offices will be closed on Monday, May 27th, in honor of Memorial Day.
Thank you. City administrator's report. Brian?
No report tonight, Mayor, thank you.
Department head information questions. Any questions for Mr. Gombeck or Chief Thomas, or anything you'd like to add?
Yes, Steve.
Joe?
Are you right, Joe?
Just one, because unfortunately I was running majorly late tonight. 2023 winterizations for $4,600. Now, what would that be?
So from the irrigation shutdown during the winter, we never got billed on it until now. So it's for sprinkler systems.
Okay.
Is it annual?
Anything, Mary?
Chief, how's the enrollment going for the emergency notifications?
I think we're over 2,000 now.
Thank you.
We had a little bit of issue where it wants to send multiple texts.
Yeah, I usually get 2, but I'd rather get 2 than none.
Yeah.
So,
We're fixing it, working on it.
Okay. Takes us to the treasury report. We have 2 warrants. Mike?
Thank you, Mayor. This evening, I'm requesting council's approval of warrant number 23, 24, 26, the amount of $997,583.43 from the listed funds.
Motion to approve. Alderman Sullivan, second by Alderman Shower. Any questions or comments? Now on the roll.
Sullivan?
aye.
Shower?
Aye.
Legansky?
Aye.
Kenny?
Aye.
Belzak?
Aye.
5 ayes and 2 absent.
That warrant's been approved.
Requesting council's approval of warrant number 24, 2502 in the amount of $195,933.37 from the listed funds. Payroll for the period ended May 16th in the amount of $308,228.29 for a total to be approved of $504,161.66.
We have a motion to approve. Alderman Shower, seconded by Alderman Legansky. Any questions or comments? If not, the roll.
Shower?
Aye.
Legansky?
Aye.
Sullivan?
Aye.
Belzak?
Aye.
Kenny?
Aye.
5 ayes and 2 absent.
Warrant's been approved. Takes us to standing committee reports. Do any of the chairmen have reports for the council? Mary?
On the agenda tonight, on the consent agenda items A, B, and C were at the Administrative Finance Committee that met 2 weeks ago and were all approved unanimously. Our next Administrative Finance Committee will be held on Monday, June 3rd at 6 PM in the conference room on the first floor.
Kenny?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This evening on our consent agenda, we have some items, items E, F, G, H, and I. We did not have a police committee meeting tonight because of lack of quorum. I did go over the items that are here on the agenda. There's nothing over the top. Everything is just buying and replacing. We have some old equipment. We're just replacing with the new equipment. So I have no problem with it being on the consent agenda this evening. Our next city or police committee meeting will be on June 17th, 2024 at 6 PM across the street in the police training room.
Thank you. Alderman Valentine.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Traditionally, our meetings are on Monday, the fourth Monday of the month. However, next Monday's Memorial Day. And I'm looking on Tuesday and I don't see anything on the calendar. So Dan, are we gonna have a meeting?
Yes.
We will have a meeting next Tuesday in council chambers at 6 PM for municipal services.
Thank you very much. And Mike?
Yeah, the Police Pension Fund will be having their quarterly meeting this Thursday, the 23rd at 6 o'clock across the street in the police training room.
And I'd like to announce that this past Saturday, May 18th, the Darien Community Action Team met over in the police department. Their next meeting will be August 17th. And that finishes, I think, the committee reports. That takes us to questions and comments, agenda related. And again, this is an opportunity for the public to make comments or ask questions on any item on the council's agenda. And there's a 3-minute limit per person.
Good evening, Mayor Marquez. Good evening, esteemed council members. My name is Nizam Khatib, and this is my second time to come and speak here. We are again requesting to pass the ceasefire resolution for the people in Gaza and Israel, and free all the hostages, Israelis and Palestinians who have been illegally held for many months or years. We're asking you simply to stand with the humanity, not to take political sides. So this, I believe all of us are humans, all of us have in touch with our humanity. You don't have to dig deep to reach to that conclusion. And really there is nothing wrong with passing resolutions for any other issues if anybody comes to your door as a representative for our community. I think that there is really nothing stopping you from addressing other issues. That speaks to your humanity. That speaks to you as a representative for us. But for our cause here that we've been asking for, yes, really we want to save lives. We want to really help people to live, to at least stop the killing at this time and work to a solution, hopefully. But from your perspective, we're asking you simply to side with humanity and pass a ceasefire resolution, as I mentioned. Now, with this ceasefire resolution, you can modify it. I did submit thank you for mentioning that we submitted the ceasefire resolution, but you can modify it. I know you mentioned like the genocide and ethnic cleansing. I believe this is happening, not just because I believe it. Human organizations, human rights organizations, the ICG, the International Court of Justice, they all recognize that. But I'm not asking you to actually confirm or not confirm that. I would just want you to stand with the humanity and pass a ceasefire resolution. Hopefully, Darien will continue to be welcoming for everyone. Somebody spoke earlier here that we are not paid. We are here on our own. We're just really reaching out to the cities that we love and cherish. And I think Darien has been doing a wonderful job for the city itself and loved by many of its citizens and residents. And we have in our team, we have several people, they are residents, Darien residents. We want this to continue to be a welcoming city for everyone. One of my speakers tonight, as she walked in, a person told her, "You're not welcomed here." She's wearing the kufiya, and he told her, "You're not welcomed here in your city just a few minutes ago." Passing a ceasefire that we're asking for, it's stands and speaks volume against Islamophobia, against anti-Semitism. That's become so valuable. And this gave me even the opportunity to illustrate that. This illustrates the point. Hopefully, Darien will become a beacon of hope for everybody, a beacon of hope for humanity. And let's join other cities that have already passed ceasefire resolution. There are 110, at least 110 of them, Burridge being one of them. So I urge you to really consider it seriously and pass the ceasefire resolution, the humanitarian ceasefire resolution. Thank you so much for your time, and hopefully you will listen to our needs. Thank you.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor. It's good to see you again. Board of Trustees, wonderful. Thank you for having me once again. My name is the Reverend Adam Dowd, and I am ordained minister of the Evangelical Lutheran Church in America, the largest mainline denomination having 3 million members, right? And our church is located right here in Darien. I am also a retired Army captain, and I take that very seriously, as I've served, and every member in my father's father died as a result of combat injuries he sustained in World War II, but before he passed, he did a deep dive into our lineage, and he tracked down a Dowd that served in every American conflict all the way back to the Revolutionary War. So I know what it is like to be a person who served in the military services, and also a member of people who have lost people because of war that goes on here in our country. So I'm here tonight as a Christian faith leader and a veteran for peace to urge you to pass the ceasefire resolution. In the last meeting, I was encouraged by this council. Not only were you moved by what you heard by the members of our own community, but you took them seriously enough to put this on our agenda for tonight. And for that, I thank you, each and every one of you. And I want to encourage you to continue to be leaders of courage and of compassion as you discuss this resolution tonight. I know there's been questions about, what do we even do here? How is that even going to matter? How will we make a change? But Jesus in the Gospel of Matthew 17 tells us that even faith the size of a mustard seed has the power to move mountains. Faith the size of a mustard seed has the power to move mountains. Even if this seems like a small drop in the bucket, we can use that small bit to do great things. It will propel us forward in saying that Darien is a great place to live. It is a wonderful place, not just for people that look and sound like me, not just for the right type of people, but for all people, that all people who come to Darien are welcome in this space. Jesus says that will be judged by our actions. And if we want to follow the Christian faith, the best thing that we can do is love God and love our neighbors as ourselves. So I want to encourage you again. What you do tonight matters. The way you vote tonight matters. It has the power to make great changes by starting with a small act. I'm grateful for this opportunity to speak here tonight, and I pray that the Holy Spirit will be with us all as we work to bring about God's kingdom here on earth as it is in heaven. And lastly, if I may, I would like to offer you this blessing. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord's face shine on you with grace and mercy, and may the Lord look upon you with favor and give you peace. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, I stand before you once again, still bearing the weight of unspeakable pain and grief. Last time I spoke here, I shared the tragic story of my uncle, whose life was cruelly cut short because of the Israeli blockade on Gaza, which prevented him from receiving dialysis treatment that he desperately needed. I also broke the heartbreaking news that 4 of my family members, 2 of which are under the age of 12, were killed mere moments before I took the podium. Today, the situation remains dire. The toll on human life continues to rise, and the suffering of innocent people remains unabated. But the conflict does not exist in isolation. Its shockwaves are felt deeply within Darien and surrounding communities. We are confronted with rising tensions, heightened fear, and increased discrimination. As the conflict reignites long-standing divisions and prejudices, our children in schools are subjected to bullying and harassment. Our colleagues encounter discrimination in the workplace and in social settings. And our mosques and community centers are targeted with hate, speech, and violence. Furthermore, the psychological toll is immense, affecting mental health and well-being of our community members. I implore you to advocate for a ceasefire in Gaza. The ongoing conflict causes immense suffering and has profound effects on our community with real psychological, emotional, and ethical burdens. By calling for a ceasefire, you alleviate these strains and offer a chance for peace and reflection. I urge you to use your voice and influence to stand on the side of peace, compassion, and humanity. Finally, I want to leave you with these thoughts. The moral and ethical implications of your decisions weighs heavily on our community and our collective consciousness. How can we, as a community that prides itself on justice and human rights, remain silent while innocent lives are lost and communities are destroyed? To remain silent is to be complicit in the suffering of innocent people. It is to turn your backs on the principles of compassion and humanity that this council stands for. You have a moral obligation to act not for the sake of people in Gaza, but for the integrity and values of our own community here in Darien. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Dr. Shinab. I'm a Darien resident. I did speak on May 6th, and thank you very much for listening. Excuse me, what's your name, sir? Can you please leave? Thank you. We sent emails. We sent thank you for every one of you. And we thank you so much for putting the ceasefire resolution in your memorandum. We want you to please vote for a yes. A yes for ceasefire for both sides. A yes to release hostages on both sides. And yes to be a humanitarian. I asked the gentleman to leave. Nobody stood up. Nobody asked me from here or from this side, why did I do this to this innocent man? And this is what's going on in Gaza. Those people are innocent. They didn't do anything. And if one of us stood up and brought this individual to come and sit down, we would have spoke up. And this is what we ask you to do. Please speak up. Please be human. Please be in everybody's side, not the Gaza side, not the Israeli side. Just be human. Just to bring this guy back to sit down and relax and drink coffee like everybody else. Thank you so much for listening, and please vote yes for the ceasefire, and please vote yes for it. Have a good day.
Good evening. My name is Iyad Ilaga. I'm American, originated from Palestine, from Gaza Strip, from Khan Yunis. I've been living in Illinois since 1994. My kids are going to a private school here in Darien. I'm a father of 5 professional kids and to a talented wife. My respected fellow community members have already touched here and today on what is going on in Gaza Strip, but I would like to briefly provide some background on what led to October 7th. To do that, we have to start at the beginning. In the late 1800s, the Zionist political movement began to enforce the agenda by taking steps to force the inhabitants of Palestine off of their land, ultimately create the illegal state of Israel. Fast forward to the Nakba, translate to catastrophe. On May 1949, the state of Israel was forcibly established through the British Empire, leading to the displacement of millions of Palestinians in the occupied territories between the West Bank and Gaza and all over the world. The United Nations Security Council has since adopted 131 resolutions, yes, 131 resolutions directly addressing the oppressions of the Palestinian people due to the Zionist agenda, such as returning Palestine refugees to their homes, calls for the withdrawal of Israeli troops from Palestine occupied territories, call on Israel to stop building settlements and condemning Israel deportation of Palestinians and call for their immediate return. The Israeli government refused to recognize the Palestinian state and refused to comply with all the United Nations resolutions, so the event on October 7th is continuation of the Zionist agenda. This is a dire situation. Yes, it's a dire situation. My people in Gaza have been living in open-air prison since 1967. On my personal level, as of today, 219 people of my immediate family, relatives, cousins, have been murdered in the past 7 months. 19 have been kidnapped. 2 of them were born here in Illinois, Lombard. And they are under the age of 18, with none of them having any connections to any militant groups. Their only crime is that they are Palestinians. Therefore, I appeal to the respected Board of Trustees to vote yes for the immediate and permanent ceasefire in Gaza. Thank you so much for listening.
Good evening, Mayor, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Shireen Shamsi. I'm a resident of Darien. I have lived here 20 years. My children attended the schools in Darien. I'm a children's author, so I spend much of my time writing for children. And the fact that 14,000 children have been killed in Palestine is not an other person's issue. It's a humanitarian issue. And, you know, these past 7 months have been filled with anguish and heartbreak. And we just need a ceasefire now because no more children should die. That little girl who was in the room earlier, just seeing her face, it just lit up this entire room. And I'm speaking here. I'm not a public speaker, but I came here because all those voices that have been silenced, I came because of them. And I urge you to support the ceasefire resolution. Bishop Desmond Tutu once said, in times of situations of injustice, those who remain neutral choose the side of the oppressor, and I really trust that you will make the right choice. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen of the Darien City Council, thank you for granting me the opportunity to address you guys once again. My name is Jed, and I currently attend Hinsdale South High School, and I stand before you as a 6-year-old witness to the atrocities unfolding in Gaza. The scenes I have witnessed are not merely distant headlines or statistics. They are the harsh realities that have unfolded before my very eyes. In recent weeks, the conflict in Palestine and in Gaza has escalated to unimaginable levels of violence and suffering. As a teenager, I have seen the devastating impacts of airstrikes, the cries of innocent children, and the anguish of families torn apart by senseless violence. The images are haunting, the stories are heartbreaking, and the need for action is urgent. I urge the Darien City Council to take a stand for peace by passing a ceasefire resolution. While we may be thousands of miles away from the conflict, our voices and actions hold immense power. By advocating for a ceasefire, we send a clear message of solidarity with the innocent civilians caught in the crossfire. A ceasefire is not just a temporary pause in hostilities. It is a crucial step towards laying the groundwork for lasting peace and stability. It provides much-needed relief for the humanitarian aid to reach those in need, and allows for negotiations to take place, and creates space for diplomatic efforts to gain traction. Passing a ceasefire resolution here in Willowbrook is not a gesture of political posturing. It is a declaration of our shared humanity. It is a recognition that the lives of innocent children, regardless of their nationality or ethnicity, are precious and deserving of protection. As young people, we are often told that we are the leaders of tomorrow, but I believe that we are also the leaders of today. We have the power to shape the world around us, to stand up for what is right, and to demand change. Let us not stand idly by as innocent lives are lost and communities are torn apart. Let us instead stand together in solidarity with the people of Gaza and with all those around the world who yearn for peace and justice. I urge you, esteemed members of the Darien City Council, to seize this opportunity and to make a difference. Let us be on the right side of history. Let us be people of peace and pass a ceasefire resolution today. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody, and thank you for giving us the opportunity to talk. My name is Amro Kutsi. I am a technology executive. I came here to the country like 25 years ago, a little younger than now, and I'm married. I have 3 kids. I have a condo in Darien. I also urge you to pass a ceasefire for the sake of humanity, for the sake of those are being buried alive, these kids. I have kids. I can't imagine. I'm seeing the pictures and videos on TV every day, and I see these kids being murdered, buried alive. I see the women that are suffering from lack of water and lack of medicine and food. The bare minimum basic humanitarian needs. That's why we're asking you to pass that resolution for the sake of humanity. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Zanita Abdeen. I came to the United States in 1998 when I was 9 years old. I came here as a refugee from the Bosnian genocide. So I've grown up around tanks, mines, gunshots, without a shelter, without food. I initially was not planning on speaking when I came here tonight, but as I entered the room, a gentleman sitting in that corner told me that I was not welcome here.
Who's that?
Who said that?
Who said that?
I believe it was you.
I never said you weren't welcome here.
First of all, I'm not speaking with you right now, so
You're making the
respect my
accusation.
time.
You're making the
Multiple people heard that.
Sit here and,
I was
have
told,
falsely accuse me.
excuse me, I'm talking.
You're
You're
lying.
talking about me.
I am talking right now, and you are not welcome here. I am. And this is my time to speak, not yours. So please keep your comments
I'll end this right now unless we maintain.
Can we please
order.
remove this
Right.
gentleman because he keeps talking?
I need everybody to allow the speaker to speak,
If you want. This is a public hearing.
please. Go ahead.
That response should tell you everything that you need to know. I'm white. I'm European. The reason I was told I'm not welcome here is most likely because I'm wearing a kufiya. How do you think somebody who's brown tone, Palestinian, wearing a hijab feels? How do you think our children in our schools feel when Islamophobia is on the rise? Whether I'm Muslim or not, just the fact that I have this kufiya on, I was made to feel not welcome in Darien. Is this the message that we want to send to our kids? Is this the message that we want to send to the rest of our residents? Another thing you don't know about me is I'm a mother to a 3-year-old Palestinian Bosnian son. He's gonna grow up here in America. How do I help my son understand and not internalize the hate that he's gonna get because both of his father's and his mother's lands have been destroyed? How are we as Americans going to be inclusive to everybody and make everybody feel welcome and safe in our communities? So when you say that this is not a local issue, I just demonstrated that it was and how it was, because this really impacts our community. Another thing that I really would like to point out is the ignorance, because every single person that has come here has never told you to pick the side of Palestine. All we've ever asked for is a ceasefire and a release of hostages on both sides. So the fact that they are whoever, when I refer to they, fighting that, ask yourself why. What do they have to gain? And what do we have to lose? Because this is life versus land. Is that the message that we want to send our children? Is this another day that we want to put together and celebrate Indigenous Peoples Day? Because we are on occupied land. So when you tell me I'm not welcome here, this is Native American land. We're all welcome here.
I'm just as much American as everybody else in this room. Please consider adding the ceasefire resolution to stop this genocide.
No.
And please work with us, with your community, to help us feel safe. Thank you.
Good evening, all, and peace be upon you all. I sincerely hope for your minds, for your hearts, for your families. I am very glad to be able to speak with you again. My name is Amina Aziz, and I was able to speak with you guys prior. Hopefully, from then to now, a little bit more context of the issue has been brought to your plate. And just as that who came before me said, we are here not asking you to pick a side other than to pick a side of humanity, but also, you know what? My great-grandfather was a Cherokee Native American, and I'm part of this land just as much as anybody else, mixed race as many others are here. I have family who served in the Army. I live right here next to Darien, actually, and it's not anyone's place to say that anyone isn't welcome when it's very clear that the public comments are here and you guys are here telling us, you know what, you are welcome to come here and speak and share your opinions. We're coming here asking you, please sign a resolution that says we don't want our brothers and sisters, our men and women, to be across the seas fighting yet another war. We don't want our tax dollars being spent on yet another war when there's a million different issues that need to be addressed here at our homes, in our cities. And we do not want to see that what we could have done to stop so much atrocity was not done. So we are simple citizens. Our voices are here to speak to you. Your voices speak above us, to the governors, to the senators, to the congressmen, and to the president. Thank you for your time.
Anyone else?
Ani giga ogama. Nin Noel Manley, giga ba ganikak. If you you know what that was, that's a Ojibwe. I'm an Ojibwe tribal member from the White Earth Reservation. Good evening. My name is Noel Manley, and I'm a resident of Darien, Illinois, since 1996. I come here tonight to speak regarding the proposed resolution calling for an immediate and sustainable ceasefire and humanitarian aid in Gaza and the release of hostages for those unjustly held. I urge the City Council to reject this resolution. This resolution has nothing to do with the city operations, or city responsibilities. It is simply window dressing for left-wing, pro-Palestinian activists who support the terrorist organization Hamas. To be clear, Hamas is a terrorist organization that has placed the Gaza Strip under its thumb since 2007 and has not permitted an election since. Hamas coordinated the October 7th, 2023 attack on civilians, not military, civilians, in Israel, knowing full well that Israel would respond. Given the number of Israeli deaths inflicted by the terrorist action, guaranteed that Israel's response would be swift and far-reaching. The goal of the Israeli action in Gaza is simply this: to root out and destroy Hamas as an organization. Hamas's goal is to hide behind Palestinian civilians as human shields, guaranteeing civilian casualties and trying to succeed in getting empathy from city councils like this. Sadly, if the City Council decides to weigh in on this situation, then it will be manipulated in the future by any left-wing group in their hard-left issues. However, if the City Council chooses to weigh in on this issue, then it must weigh in on other issues. As you know, in 1915, the Muslim government of the Ottoman Turks began the first real genocide of the 20th century. It murdered 2.5 million Armenian Christians. They were rounded up, shot or deported, and sent to the Syrian desert. The successor government of the Ottoman Turks to this day continues to deny that this happened. They refuse to acknowledge this heinous crime against humanity. Perhaps our city council might want to weigh in on that issue. The Muslim governments of Turkey, Iraq, and Iran have for decades suppressed and opposed a homeland for Muslim Kurds in the Kurdistan region that straddles southeastern Turkey, northern Iraq, and northwest Iran. So volatile is the situation, or has been, that Saddam Hussein used chemical weapons to kill thousands of Kurds and bring them in line. Perhaps our city council should weigh in on this injustice. The Islamic terrorist group Boko Haram, who controls parts of northern Nigeria, has displaced 2.3 million people, mostly Christian, since 2013. This group murders Christians, kidnaps Christian girls who are forced to convert to Islam and forced to marry men against their will and to terminate their education. Perhaps the city council should weigh in on that injustice as well. And finally, we have the Ukraine war, where over 200,000 people have, on both sides, have died. The war has provided so the war has proved so costly that the war has proved so costly for the Ukraine that the average age of the Ukrainian soldier is 43 years old now, over twice the age of the average American recruit. Perhaps our city council should weigh in on that. The cause for peace is a difficult task. However, this resolution will not bring peace. And when I say peace, I mean the belligerents enter into an agreement similar to Israel's peace with Egypt and Jordan. Not a peace that will allow Hamas to regroup, reform, and launch another attack on Israel. In other words, rinse and repeat. Therefore, I urge the City Council to reject this resolution and stick to what it does best, which is pay the bills and keep the lights on. Thank you.
First of all, I think it's unfortunate that somebody comes in late and takes what I'm saying out of context. To be clear, my comments were not directed at any single individual. And to reiterate, I do not think we need paid activists and residents from other area coming to Darien and telling us how to run our city.
You need to stop that. We reject that. This is an accusation. We are residents of Darien. Nobody paid us to come here.
We are unpaid.
Stop accusing us.
Excuse me, I'm somebody who lived under the Israeli
Folks,
occupation.
ladies and gentlemen, we need quiet. We need to allow the speaker to talk.
May I reclaim the balance of my time? Okay. So is there anybody in this body that thinks my comments were directed at a single individual?
Who in the crowd heard him say that to
I
you?
did.
All right.
He's in the middle.
So to be clear, generally with the back to the audience, I may glance once in a while, but it's pretty difficult to see somebody walk in, let alone determine how they look, what they're wearing, disseminate what their religion is, and form some prejudicial basis. So now that we're done with that, I'm fortunate to have friends and family that are of different faiths, Muslim, Jewish, Christian, Seventh-day Adventist, and even my friend Noel, who's a Native American. But one thing I did not hear tonight was anything directed at the terrorist organization Hamas. And sometimes what is left unsaid is as important as what is said. This conflict was started by the terrorist organization Hamas. And I'll just ask the question, is there anybody here that thinks that humanity and the world is better off with the militant wing of the terrorist organization Hamas left with their military structure? Okay, so we can all agree on that terrorism is bad. War is terrible. There are consequences of war. And it breaks my heart to see the inhumanity that happens in war. It breaks my heart, and I sympathize with all those impacted. And who is Hamas? I mean, they're a terrorist organization. It's been widely documented that they gang rape teenage girls, cut off their breast and shoot them in the head. I mean, nobody thinks. May I reclaim my time, Mayor?
Folks, if we have any more outbursts, I will end public comment, allow him to finish, and I'll dismiss the room. I want no more comments. Everybody has a right to speak.
So I believe that the Hamas terrorist organization needs to be brought to justice. I profoundly believe that. I don't think it's fair to the Palestinian people and my Palestinian friends to force them to live among thousands of terrorists in their enclave. The Hamas terrorist organization needs to be captured and brought to justice so these Palestinian people can live in peace. And in my opinion, that's a precursor, and several of my Palestinian friends believe that also. They want rid of these guys too. So instead of a ceasefire, which in a sense means cease to try to capture the terrorist Hamas and just let thousands of them go on their way and to create additional heinous acts is not the way to go. I think that we as a world and as humanity and as a body need to support the capture of these Hamas terrorists. Now, I don't think anybody has a monopoly on resolutions. So I belong to, or I had a group, and we took the initiative to edit the resolution as it was invited to do. And I don't know how many different resolutions you got, but again, nobody probably has a monopoly on that. And if you're going to adopt a resolution, please give careful thought and consideration of a resolution that captures Hamas terrorists so the Gaza people and the rest of humanity can live in peace. Thank you.
Thank you.
Question, please, you allowed the gentleman to speak twice. Do we have the same opportunity?
No, he spoke about different
Okay, this is the second time he spoke, so will we have the same opportunity?
I'm saying, I think you're asking about speaking twice, right?
Correct.
Yes.
Maybe you twice. I allowed him twice. I will allow you twice.
Thank you.
Okay, we're good? Okay. My name is Alyssa Pavlik. I went to high school in Darien. I'm not paid to be here. I would love to see my check because I'm being accused of that, but I don't get paid to be here. Every day I wake up, as many other people do, and I see children torn to shreds, refugee camps bombed, schools bombed. There are no schools remaining in Gaza. There are no more college campuses remaining in Gaza. Like, they don't have food, they don't have water, they don't have medical aid. There are settlers. I don't know how much any of you keep up on the situation, like in detail, but there are settlers that stop aid from entering Gaza to humanitarian aid, medical supplies, rice, whatever, basic staples, right? I'm coming here because I think that it does really go to our communities. Like, it's not just happening over there. It's not something that we could ignore. It's impacting people in our communities. I know people who have family that they've lost. You've spoken to people here who have lost family. And I've seen Islamophobia rise here too. Obviously not against me, but against the people that I care about. I think that it's in our interest to vote for a humanitarian ceasefire because it helps people on both sides. It brings peace to all. Thank you.
Hello, good evening. My name is Kathy Abate. I'm a 36-year resident of Darien. I am a fourth-generation American. I bleed red, white, and blue. My father fought in the Korean War. My grandfather fought in World War I. So we get our resume out there. Okay. I, for one, think, I understand politics very well. And this is very political. This is very political. I know most of you, almost all of you. I know what you do. I know what your mission statement here in Darien is. You're concerned about the city of Darien, the function of Darien, the streets, the roads, the police. You have a mission. And to be quite frank, you do it all very well. I know you, I've watched you, I know how you run the city, I admire you. This is not your lane. Everybody has, I understand the freedom of speech. I truly do. Everybody has a right to talk, and you should take it up with the proper person or entity, not the city of Darien. This is not your lane. It just isn't. If you want to talk about a ceasefire or a resolution and put forth into the proper political channels, I suggest you talk to somebody in Congress. You put your resolution together and you go to Congress. Sean Casten is our congressional representative. I suggest you go there. These people are not political. They were elected as nonpartisan people. I know that because I'm political and I'm very involved in politics. These people were elected as nonpartisan individuals. So they're not Democrats, they're not Republicans, they're not liberal, they're not conservative. You wouldn't know that because they have a mission to follow here. And what you're asking them to do is to get way into politics. You're going to irritate half the people in Darien, and then the other half might like it. It's not your lane. I say, don't jump in. You're asking for trouble. You're asking for a slippery slope. You're going to get other people coming in for other things, making up resolutions and trying to vote on something. It's not your place. And it just won't solve anything. So if you want to speak and you have issues with Gaza and the ceasefire, like I said, I think you're better directed towards Sean Casten. Thank you very much.
So are you here?
Wow. Mr. Khatib? Oh, do we have another speaker? Okay.
Hello. I actually purchased my first home. My name is Nazreen. I'm a Palestinian American. I actually purchased my very first home in Darien in 2001 and raised my kids here for a couple of years. I just wanted to debunk a few things that were said. I don't have anything written up or anything like that, but Hamas was constantly brought up. The thing that people are not realizing is a simple search on who founded Hamas will tell you it all. They were created in 1987 by Israel. By Israel. Not one of us that are coming and speaking for this resolution have said anything against the Israeli hostages. We come here and we speak on both ends. We want hostages on both ends to be released. We don't want to see anybody murdered. We don't want to see war. We're definitely sick and tired of seeing children, innocent children that have nothing to do with what's going on, being murdered. I have family in Khan Yunis and I have family in Rafah. A lot of things are not being reported on the news. A lot of things, they are being bombed. People are living in, I don't want to say living, they're actually hiding in buildings that are already bombed with their children. Where do they go? Where do they go? There's nowhere for them to go. And then another thing is when she says it's not an issue here, I beg to differ. When my tax dollars are being sent every year to Israel to fund a genocide, to fund an occupation where my family is living, I take issue with that. I'm going to speak up. I think it's horrible. I'm pretty sure the majority of everybody here has children in their family, whether your parents, grandparents, aunts or uncles. How would you feel? How would you feel seeing your babies, having to pick them up piece by piece, put them together like a puzzle? Can you guys just imagine? Can you imagine? Why can't we have the same freedoms for the Gazans that Israel has? They already cut them off. So why are they attacking? We're here to speak for people in Gaza, for these innocent children. I see it every day. I see videos. I have relatives open up cameras and show me. It's a nightmare. It's something that is unimaginable. Nobody should have to suffer that, let alone a child. It's very important. I don't live in Palestine. About 80% of my family is there. My father is from occupied Jaffa from 1948. Way before 1987, before Hamas was even formed or created by Israel. What was Israel's excuse? 1948. What was their excuse? There's no excuse going around and killing people, innocent people that have nothing to do with Hamas. Hamas was not created by Palestine. Please, 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 I'm begging you. I'm talking to my family, letting them know that we're speaking. Consider adding this resolution onto the agenda. It's important. I don't have anything more to tell you than that. If you guys are parents, aunts, uncles, grandparents, just imagine, close your eyes and imagine. Just imagine. God forbid if it was one of your children, your grandchildren, nieces, nephews, just imagine. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Hassan Ali. I've been living in Darien since 2011. I also got purchased my first home here in Darien. I walked tonight to this room proud of being a resident of this place, but to be honest, I'm walking out tonight with fear because I never expected that we have among our neighbors this tone of racism and hate. I heard tonight from my own neighbors a language of hate and racism, almost telling us we're not welcomed here and we are immigrant. This is not our place. This is not our land. And I believe America is all about diversity. And I'm so proud of being part of this diversity. And what makes this country a great country is a diversity. But this language is putting me in a lot of fear. I have two children. My wife is a pharmacist. She risked her life and our life and the life of our children during COVID, testing people and working. She wear the hijab and she work in public pharmacies, and I have now some concerns about her even going out after hearing what I heard. I don't think we are all here to discuss any political or historical events or to see if we're supporting this group over this group. This is not the time and this is not the place, and we're not asking you to be part of this. And I would be very happy to be nice enough to request from my own neighbors to discuss these issues over a cup of coffee or lunch, anytime. We are neighbors, we live here in this place, and we shouldn't really have this tone of hate and racism. And we can talk about politics, we can disagree about politics. We can talk, I don't think we will solve the problem of Israel and Palestine overnight. The international community cannot even do that. But we can talk. But what we're asking you here is just to say anything with any language you choose, that you are as human beings, just as human beings, before being in this position and after being in this position, as human beings, you are with peace, an end of violence in the Middle East. If all of what it takes is to say that, we will be so happy. We are not asking you to do anything that you don't want to do. And as a matter of fact, even the proposed resolution that was actually similar to the proposal and the resolution that was approved by City of Bel Ridge is that the first thing, in the first point, we, the corporate authorities of the city of Bel Ridge, Illinois, mourn all those innocent and unarmed Israelis and U.S. citizens and others massacred during Hamas terrorist attack on October 7, 2023 near the Gaza-Israeli border. This is the first point, and we're actually with that. We're proposing that. We're not asking you to take any position for this or that. We all are celebrating graduation. 165 students in Gaza lost the chance to go to the school this year even for one day. This interrupted and I don't think they are Hamas. I don't think that, 40,000 people who were killed in Gaza are Hamas. Half of them are children. So let's just put things in consideration. We're not here to say we're supporting. I do not know anybody in Hamas. I don't affiliate myself with Hamas, and I'm not Palestinian myself. But again, we are just asking for any language of your choice to support peace and end of violence. Thank you very much.
Mr. Khatib, did you want to speak a second time? If the crowd, our policy said that a person can talk a second time once everybody's finished speaking.
I appreciate that very much. Can I postpone that until you discuss, because the ceasefire resolution is to be discussed on item, I think, 17C, right? And there is public speaking after that. I could wait until that. Is that okay?
The city council will discuss this without any more public comment. The public comment will be shut down. And then at the end of the meeting, there's an additional item.
Exactly,
After
item
the
18.
council finishes all the business items.
Item 18. I could speak at that time if that's
Yes.
okay. Thank you for offering me the opportunity. Thank you.
That's right.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna close public comment. Next item on our agenda is old business. There being no old business, I'll go to the consent agenda. Please bear with me. There's a number of items here. Consideration of a motion to approve one electronics recycling event with the city's current refuse hauler, Lakeshore Recycling, in an amount not to exceed $9,400. Item B, consideration of a motion to authorize the city administrator to sign a contract for the best bid for street light electric supply. Item C, consideration of a motion to approve a resolution authorizing the mayor and the city clerk to approve a one-year extension to the agreement with MC Square Energy Services to provide full requirement electricity supply and related services for the city's electric aggregation program. Item D, consideration of a motion to approve a resolution approving the expenditure of budgeted funds, line item 1-40-4815, equipment to replace worn and damaged cabinets, sinks, etc., from Albright Building in a total amount of $17,369. Item E, consideration of a motion to approve a resolution approving the expenditure of budgeted funds to purchase ammunition from Keesler's Police Supply in the amount of $19,385.55. Item F, consideration of a motion to approve a resolution accepting a proposal from Emergency Vehicle Tech for the purchase of parts and labor for the outfitting of 7 administrative cars using Department of Justice award money in the amount of $65,096.44. Consideration of a motion to approve a resolution accepting a proposal from Ruggedized Laptops using capital purchase equipment funds in the amount of $66,360. Item H, consideration of a motion to approve a resolution accepting a proposal from CDS Office Technologies for the purchase of 15 Zebra ZQ521 mobile direct thermal printers using DUI technology funds in the amount of $18,570. And item I, consideration of a motion to approve a resolution accepting a proposal from Stalker Applied Concepts for the purchase of 12 DSR-2X radar units using DUI technology funds in the amount of $22,101.36. Motion to approve. Alderman Belzak, second by Alderman Shower, and the roll.
Belzak.
Aye.
Shower.
Aye.
Sullivan.
Aye.
Kenny.
Aye.
Legansky.
Aye.
5 ayes and 2 absent.
The consent agenda has been approved. Takes us to new business. The first item, consideration of a motion to approve a resolution authorizing the purchase of 2 zero-turn radius rear discharging riding mowers, model ZD1211R-3-60R and model ZD121-1RL-3-72R from Alta Equipment Company in the amount of $35,436.82. Motion to approve. Alderman Shower, second by Alderman Belzak. Any discussion? The roll?
Shower.
Aye.
Belzak.
Aye.
Kenny.
Aye.
Legansky.
Aye.
Sullivan.
Aye.
5 ayes and 2 absent.
The item's been approved. Item B, consideration of a motion to approve a resolution to accept a proposal for the purchase of one new hydraulic guillotine pipe cutting saw, wax utility products in an amount not to exceed $15,565. Motion to approve. Alderman Legansky, seconded by Alderman Belzak. Questions or comments? Number roll.
Legansky.
Aye.
Belzak.
Aye.
Sullivan.
Aye.
Shower.
Aye.
Kenny.
Aye.
5 ayes and 2 absent.
Item C, consideration of a motion to approve a resolution calling for an immediate and sustainable ceasefire and humanitarian aid in Gaza and the release of hostages and those unjustly held. And again, this resolution was received from a citizen and not proposed by the city council. Motion to approve. Alderman Belzak, do I have a second? I have no second. The item dies for lack of a second. Item D, consideration of a motion to direct staff to prepare a draft policy pertaining to votes that will be considered by the city council. Motion to approve. Alderwoman Sullivan, seconded by Alderman Shower. Questions or comments? Mary?
I spoke a little bit in the pre-council time, but I think it's imperative that we take an opportunity to do a deep dive into and set some expectations for the council, for staff, and for our community on what items will be addressed by the city council in resolution form or proclamation form moving forward. So I think it's, like I think Tom mentioned earlier, didn't even realize, but there's, as things come about, it's opportunity for us to take the chance and vet it and go through it. I also think this will tag team well with our strategic planning process that we're in the midst of. We're gonna be looking at our mission statement a little more. I've heard from audience communications, not just at this meeting, at other meetings, there might be words we might want to entertain, bringing into our mission statement so that our community feels heard and not feared and welcomed, because we are, as we all sit here as elected officials, unwavering humanitarians. We are kind, giving, generous people of our time and our energy, and people need to feel that, and I think no better way than in our mission statement and our strategic plan. But setting these guidelines, I think, will be really helpful for us from an operating standpoint and for our residents to know.
No, I agree with you, Mary. I've been a resident of Darien for almost 40 years, and I've seen a lot of evidence of the humanitarian as well as the unselfishness that residents have for one another. We have organizations in the city of Darien, like the Lions Club that was here tonight, the Women's Club, the Rotary, the Darien Youth Club, the Darien Swim Rack. We have all these organizations, and a lot of what they do is service to other people. That speaks to who we are as a community. We just don't pretend that a nice place to live is a catchy motto. A nice place to live is who we really are. Darien is a nice place to live, and I know there's disappointment in the audience, but we heard you, and my heart goes out to you. I never lost somebody like that, like you've lost. No one here, and the two that are not here, I would include them in this, wants to see people lose family members in another country. Nobody does. Nobody here wants to see this. And we heard because you heard. But this resolution, this ceasefire, will do absolutely nothing to change that. Nothing. If we felt it would, we would have enacted it a long time ago. Our business is the business of the city of Darien. It's our residents, and it's our residents' need, and you, a number of you, are our residents. And we will work to meet your needs. We do that with our public works, we do that with our police, we do that with all of our city services. We work to meet your needs. So we're not any different than what you expected us to be. Maybe you thought this resolution was something that would be easy for us to do. It is not going to have an impact on anything. It's not. I've researched other communities and some have passed it, some have not. And that war still goes on. So don't lose faith in the city that you live in. You have 7 good people up here who are very concerned about what goes on in the world. But what goes on in the world is something that I have to deal with as an individual citizen. I deal with my congressmen, I deal with my senators, and as I told Mr. Khatib back in my office several weeks ago, go to Sean Casten, go to Tammy Duckworth, go to Dick Durbin. Those are the people you need to be talking to, because those are the people that could have an impact on what you want. Those are the people you need to deal with. These 7 people here, our hearts are with you, but a ceasefire is not gonna help. A ceasefire agreement, by us is not gonna help. Anyone else have anything they'd like to add? We have a motion and a second. Tom?
Well, I just think it makes a lot of sense for us to have a policy like this. It's something that creates guidance going forward, and I think it's important we do that.
You had something simple here tonight that kind of shows exactly that. We had an instance here tonight where a gentleman asked another gentleman to leave the room just to illustrate, what was going on. And then 45 minutes later, we had another situation just like that. Well, if this person got to talk twice, how come I can't get to speak twice? That happened here in the room. I'm not making that up. We all saw it. And if we don't have policies in place like that, we're allowing, well, how come you're gonna do this for this person and not for that person? So I'm very in favor of us having something formal in writing, so we have a guideline, so we're not disappointing people like this on a Monday night.
Anyone else? Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve to direct staff to prepare a draft policy pertaining to votes that will be considered by the city council. Roll.
Sullivan.
Aye.
Showard.
Aye.
Belzak.
Aye.
Kenny.
Aye.
Legansky.
Aye.
5 ayes and 2 absent.
Move to the admin committee.
That will go to the admin finance committee, they'll discuss it, and we'll bring it back to the city council for approval when it's in its final form. That concludes that part of our agenda. Now our questions and comments and announcements of a general nature. I believe Mr. Khatib wanted to make a statement.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and the esteemed trustees, council members. It's very disappointing that you turned down the request for the resolution. We've been asking for a humanitarian. There is a value, a big value by our community. The fact that you invited us, you allowed us to your home here, speaks volume to the city of Darien. So we appreciated that you are a welcoming city board and city council and mayor. That's very, very, very important for us. We felt comfortable to come again and again and again. There is a huge value in actually passing a ceasefire resolution. I had the opportunity to speak with Congresswoman yesterday, Delia Ramirez, and she said, give me the resolutions that passed by the cities and she will use it in the Congress. She will address it in the Congress to help speed the process of passing a ceasefire resolution, so that will save lives, and it's a humanitarian ceasefire resolution that we're asking for. So she was very excited, and already we have 110 cities that have passed it. So I'm hoping, is there a possibility for reconsideration for this? I mean, if our Imam, Brother Hassan, Sheikh Hassan Ali said, we can tame it down or modify it. If there's an opportunity for us to come back again and present another one. because it's very important, very valuable. We want you to be on the side of humanity, which I know you said you are. You know, you are family people, like all of us. We would like the opportunity to see if you can consider it. There is a huge value. There's a huge value for us here, the residents and even the community around you, to see that you are standing with humanity, that you are here to protect your citizens. Because when you pass a resolution like this, it's a testament that you stand against any bigotry, any Islamophobia, any anti-Semitism. You stand with that. That's passing the resolution is valuable in that sense. So it has multiple aspects of it. And I really hope that you can either reconsider your decision or give us opportunity again to submit another resolution so that you can reconsider. Thank you so much for your time.
Anyone on the council have anything they'd like to add?
So may I make a very quick comment? Yeah.
You could speak again.
It's not a speech, it's actually. So once again, thank you. We are disappointed, but we will continue to be friends and neighbors and offering our service to our city, Darien, to make it a nice place to live. I just want to make very quick comment. Just by saying, with all due respect, by saying that this has nothing to do with the international community and Darien has nothing to do with the, we have a great example, and if you allow me to use this, this very great organization, Lions International, Darien. Since 1917, their great impact coming from Darien here, great impact is nationwide. They're saving lives nationwide. They're offering help and shelter and food nationwide. So yes, it might be symbolic to ask for peace, but the impact will go also beyond our borders, similar to the great impact of Lions International. Thank you very much, and we hope that we can come with any language, again, to support peace and end violence. Thank you.
Thank you. With that, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn. Alderwoman Sullivan, seconded by Alderman Shower. All in favor?
Aye.
To adjourn at 9:02. Thank you very much.